For the second year in a row, Baltimore City is marking a significant reduction in homicides and most violent crime. The mayor's office says it's continuing to take an aggressive approach to not only solve crimes, but to prevent them from happening. Tara Lynch has more.
Both Mayor Brandon Scott and Governor Wes Moore said while this was a historic year for crime statistics in Baltimore City, there's still a lot more work to do. Most of today's presentation focused on juvenile crime, including new rehabilitation strategies and intervention strategies to help some of the most vulnerable in our city.
We've paired community violence intervention alongside proactive and constitutional policing, pursuing public safety the right way.
Public safety is a point of emphasis for Baltimore City and the state going into 2025. Last year, the city saw a 23% reduction in homicides. And according to Baltimore City Police, most major crime categories like robberies, assaults, and carjackings were down.
We have to acknowledge that we didn't just do that, we far exceeded that now 2 years in a row. And we can acknowledge that we can do even better.
Obviously, you don't want murders. You want these numbers to go down, and that's a good thing. However, I don't think you can hide behind that as a smokescreen for what's actually happening out there.
John Berardi says despite the lower crime numbers, he still doesn't feel safe. Around 11 o'clock on a Saturday night in November, he was walking home on South Charles Street in Federal Hill with a pizza when he says 3 teens attacked him, swinging broomsticks at his head and demanding his food.
When I turned to notice that he was still over my shoulder, he was full swing and hit me in the eye.
Now he has a torn iris and a hole in his retina in his right eye. He's asking for answers to tamp down juvenile crime. On the eve of the legislative session, Governor Wes Moore says this will be addressed in the state's budget, including funding for juvenile services.
That we have to make sure that we have real accountability for those who break the law. And we have to make sure that we have supports for the people who break the law, that if they have an opportunity to have a second chance at life, those second chances must be available.
So you feel silenced, especially something that's a life-altering injury that I have. So I don't know if Baltimore wants me to be here.
To that gentleman, every victim, this is why we're committed to that work. This is why we're committed to working with all of our partners to make sure that every part of the system is not only talking, but working to the highest levels.
We are expecting to learn more about this strategy, including the funding for juvenile services, tomorrow when the legislative session begins. Meanwhile, in Berardi's case, there's now a reward through Metro Crime Stoppers. If you know anything, you're encouraged to reach out to Baltimore City Police, or you can reach out anonymously through the Metro Crime Stoppers tip line, that number 866-7-LOCK-UP. For now, reporting in your corner at Baltimore City Hall, Tara Lynch, WJZ.
Hope they get some tips. Thank you, Tara.